Porter's former co-director for the Children's Obesity Program at Children's National Hospital, Dr. Evan Nadler. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
All right, so what Trump is seeking to do, he's saying to the pharmaceutical companies, you're recouping the cost of research and development by giving us higher prices, but giving discount prices to foreign nations. Maybe you should spread the cost to the foreign nations, not necessarily expect Americans to shoulder this burden.
That's not exactly the accurate description of what's going on. So what happens in Europe, for instance, is they have nationalized healthcare, right? One payer system. And the UK, they just say, we're willing to pay X amount for a certain drug. And if that company says no, they move on to drug Y, which is nearly equivalent to drug X. And there's no negotiating. All the leverage is with the government and the single payer system. What you have in America is you have 40% of people who are under a public insurer. And then you have all these private insurers covering about 2/3 of the nation. And the American people are not going to settle for just drug X. They want X, they want Y, they want whatever's coming next. And I just don't think that the drug companies are really going to have much of an incentive to comply with this executive order if it makes it through the courts and all the other hurdles that stand in front of it.
Well, in defense of my opening, Trump said that when he was talking to some of these pharmaceutical companies, they kind of admitted they were giving lower prices to foreign nations. But when did, we hear Democrats say, well, we have to be able to negotiate drug prices. When did we not have that power? If you walk into a car dealership, you don't just look at the sticker and pay the price. If you're the purchaser of a product, you always have negotiation power. So is this something new? I mean, we've always had it, but the Democrats say we have to get it, but we've always had it. So what is going to happen differently here?
To be honest, I'm not sure anything's going to happen differently here because I don't see where the incentive is for the pharmaceutical companies to say, sure, we'll give you back some profits. We no longer need all this money. Sure, you can have some money back. I don't know where the stick is, right? Like, what is there's no carrot. So what's the stick? Wouldn't you
say Medicare and Medicaid being one of the biggest purchasers of pharmaceuticals or pass-throughs to purchase? I mean, he could say, well, Medicare and Medicaid are gonna start negotiating like some of these single-payer systems.
Right. And that will, the pharmaceutical company that wants the pharmaceutical companies are good businesses, right? They know how to run their business. They go where the profits are. And if the Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to pay, I don't know, $800 per medication, but Medicare is going to pay $400 per medication, they're going to supply all the meds to the private payers. I mean, this has the potential to actually make healthcare disparities worse because, again, we as Americans are used to the best and the newest of everything. And once you start taking away incentives from companies, I mean, is that where we're going? We're going to legislate car prices next. We're going to legislate, or not even legislate, we're going to have an executive order saying that, I'm sorry, the Audi cannot be more than $40,000. It's going to have to be $35,000 because the automotive.
I'm not in disagreement with you on that, but it sounds like the government does have the ability to say, hey, and by the way, those insurers, if they see Medicare and Medicaid getting a rate, they're going to say, well, we want that rate too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, the one thing that was brought up is the PBMs that really just are sort of like an unnecessary middleman that just makes everything more expensive. And I think they're going to be the first to sort of feel the pinch. The pharmacy benefits managers or PBMs. I think they're going to be the first to go. I think I think there's a 30-day time was put on this negotiation, and I don't know how many pharmaceutical companies there are in the world, but that seems like a fairly short period of time to negotiate a bunch of deals.
Before I'm going to run out of time, I only got 30 seconds. Do you think putting more prescription drugs over the counter could lower the cost? 30 seconds.
And the compounding pharmacies. I mean, if you really want people to compete, let those compounding pharmacies start making these drugs, and then the whole, competitive free market will bring everything down and make it more affordable for everybody. So there are some things that could work.
I'm all about the free market here. I am, and maybe imports and some generics. All right, Dr. Nadler, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime.